LoreWarrior Online Double Feature DVS-2 Devastator. Overview. The Devastator was built from a Star League-era design, discovered in 3023 by Davian troops in the remains of a Star League base on the planet Hoth. Innosphere scientists and battle mech manufacturers, however, lacked the technology to build the Gauss rifles, extra-light engines, and double heat sinks the design required. The blueprints for the Devastator languished in the files of the New Avalon Institute of Science for 10 years, until advanced technological information uncovered in the Grey Death memory core enabled House Davian to construct a prototype of the battle mech. Originally designed by General Kerensky to correct the flaws in the prototype Titan battle mech, the Devastator can deliver tremendous firepower at long range. The chaos of the Amara Civil War disrupted the development of the original Devastator, though several prototypes did reach General Kerensky's forces in time for the final assault on Terra. No record of the mech's deployment during the Succession Wars exists, experts assuming that all prototypes accompanied Kerensky in the Exodus. Capabilities. The relative lightness of the Devastator's 300XL engine enables the mech to carry several heavy weapons and extra double heatsinks. A total of 14 double heatsinks keep the Devastator cool even at the height of battle, and 18.5 tons of armor give the Devastator excellent protection. The Devastator's weapons are impressive and deadly. 2 Gauss rifles and 2 PPCs make up the major portion of the mech's arsenal, allowing the Devastator to inflict immense damage at long range. The mech's 4 tons of Gauss ammunition are stored in 4 separate bins, eliminating the possibility of putting the Gauss rifles out of action with a single lucky hit. For short-range combat, the Devastator is equipped with 4 medium lasers, including a single rear-mounted laser. Deployment. Norse Storm has been producing a moderate number of Devastators at their Loxley facility for the past 10 years. All of these units have been sold to the Federated Commonwealth. It's unknown how many Devastators were deployed with Lyran units when the Lyran Alliance declared independence from the Commonwealth. Experts estimate that as many as 100 Devastators may be stationed along the borders of the clan occupation zones. Variants. The only known variant of the Devastator is the DVS-3, which remains under development at this time. The 3 drops 3 of the original design's medium lasers in favour of an additional half-ton of armour and 2 more tons of Gauss ammunition. In addition, a rear-firing small laser is mounted in the centre torso. This model has yet to see combat. 3058 Upgrade Overview. Designed by General Kerensky himself right before the start of the Amara Civil War, development of the Devastator ended abruptly when Stefan the Usurper took control of the Terran hegemony. Resources were redirected to the war effort, but the design team was so dedicated to the design that when General Kerensky was about to begin the invasion of Terra, they delivered 6 prototypes for evaluation, expenses paid out of pocket by the team. None of the Devastator's combat records have ever been found, leaving historians unable to evaluate how one of the last original Star League Defense Force designs performed, or if any of these prototypes even survived. The plans were rediscovered in 3023 on Hoth by a unit exploring a recently uncovered Star League base, but the first engineers to examine the plans couldn't reproduce any of the technology that went into the original. It wasn't until 3033 that the NAIS constructed a developer prototype using available technologies. Moderate production began a few years later, and the low-tech DVS-1D was distributed to elite units until early 3048, when the Federated Commonwealth was able to begin production of a fully outfitted version. Capabilities. Designed for long-range power to overcome its slow speed, 2 Poland main model A Gauss rifles were mounted with a secondary pair of particle projector cannons placed in the torso. While conventional wisdom would switch the locations to make the main guns better protected, Norse wanted the Devastator's most powerful guns to be able to attack a flanking enemy. In addition, this also meant that should the Gauss rifles explode during combat through a lucky hit, the mech's vulnerable extra-light engine wouldn't be damaged in possible chain reactions, extending the Devastator's life expectancy in a high combat situation. With a battery of medium lasers, the Devastator can hold its own in close combat, but its most impressive feature is its heat management capabilities. 14 double heatsinks allow pilots to move at maximum speed and fire all of its heavy weaponry without concern. Even while doused in Inferno gel or with multiple engine hits, a Devastator pilot has only to marginally cut back on its actions to keep the design from overheating. Deployment. The Devastator has been in service of the Federated Commonwealth, now Federated Sons and Lyran Alliance militaries, for about 20 years, and has been ingrained quite deeply. When the Lyran Alliance seceded in 3057, Archon Catherine stopped all shipments of the Devastator to the Federated Suns until 3061, when she took power in her brother's realm. Shipments went to Loyalist units, and the design saw extensive use during the heavy combat operations from the clan invasion to the even more devastating Civil War. In addition to being a long-range weapons platform, many commanders assigned the unit to be their personal bodyguard mech, using batteries of PPCs and Gausses to deter any would-be headhunting teams. In the immediate aftermath of the Civil War, Archon Peter Steiner Davian placed a massive order for battle mechs from Northstorm. Not touched during the conflict, Northstorm was able to keep production at maximum output to meet the Archon's orders. However, unlike its sister design, the Thunderhawk, the Devastator is available for export, and the AWFS has been purchasing it to be replaced for many of its lost assault mechs. Variants. Worried about the Devastator's staying power in protracted battle, Northstorm developed and released the DVS-3, dropping the 3 front-firing medium lasers. The variant adds an additional half-ton of armour, a rear-firing small laser, and another 2 tons of Gauss ammo. Only a few have been sold, as many units feel that 4 tons of Gauss ammo is more than enough for most battles, and they'd rather have the extra medium lasers instead of the extra ammo. Not in production anymore is the low-tech 1D. It still sees service with some militia units though. Lacking such advanced features such as double heatsinks and Gauss rifles, much of the weaponry was downgraded to make do with what the Federated Commonwealth had at the time. AC-10s in the arms replaced the Gauss rifles, and instead of PPCs, a large laser was added to each torso to make up for the weight gain resulting from the employment of a standard fusion engine. Sacrificing a half-ton of armour, an extra heatsink in the centre torso was added, and it's estimated that only several dozen or so of this version still exist, as there was a recall to upgrade existing Devastators to the better technology, and most of those machines are currently in the possession of the Turian Concordat. The Devastator, my all-time favourite 100-tonner. It's Starleague's chassis XT with a powerplant Velar 300XL, a cruise speed of 32 and a max speed of 54 kph with no jump capability. Armour is Duralex heavy. Armament is 2 Poland main model A Gauss rifles with 2 Donal particle projector cannons and 4 Intech medium lasers, manufactured by Northstorm Battlemechs Incorporated on their primary factory of Loxley. Communication system is a Johnston wideband, and targeting and tracking is provided by Randar Pinpoint HY. It has a Walker 3, a run of 5, 28 heat dissipation from its double heat sinks with an armor factor of 296, 9 on the head, 47 on the CT with 12 on the rear, 30 on the right and left torsos with 10 on the rear, 34 in the arms, and 40 on the legs. It has Gauss rifles in each arm with 8 shots spread across the right arm and right torso, and then another 8 shots split, 16 shots between the left arm and left torso. Its PPCs, 1 mounted in each side torso, and the 4 lasers, 1 in the head, 1 in the CT rear, and 1 in each of the side torsos. It is fantastic. It's an amazing looking mech. I've always loved it. Originally turned up in Battle Technology magazine, where it was first shown off, alongside the Titan, I think, was also in a Battle Technology mag. Sadly, the Titan has a bit of a weird history now. It's kind of been retconned, and it visually looks different, and now there's another Titan that has the original Titan's look. I'll get around to it one of the days, because it is in one of the later TROs, and yeah, it's very different. I think they turned it into a Word of Blake mech for some reason. I'm really glad that this TRO update didn't decide to have Word of Blake get their filthy fucking hands all over the Devastator, because frankly they don't deserve it. I don't know, I've always liked the look of this thing. It just looks like a beefy motherfucker. It looks like it's gonna hurt somebody, this thing. It's got some visual parity with the Warhammer as well. There's some odd little notes there. The way the arms are angled, the searchlight on the side torso, another part that clearly is meant to be some kind of sensor system, but it's reminiscent of the SRM launcher on the top torso there. It has the same kind of broad, flat kind of torso design. There's a lot that just reminds me of the Warhammer in that design, and things like the hammer hands and that kind of thing. There's a lot of visual identity there. It's a cool looking mech. Always liked it. I'm so glad that it's getting a mini as well in the Kickstarter for the Mercenaries one. It's great. I do have a mini of it. I have the metal mini that I think was made by, it might be Iron Wind, but I can't remember. But it's basically this pose from the artwork of it, sort of running along and firing its weapons. And yeah, it's cool. It's a frightening design. as well. It's a mech I'm surprised never actually got a MWO treatment, because it is right up the alley of everyone who plays fucking MWO at a certain point in the game's twisted timeline. Anything that can carry a bunch of Gauss rifles and some fucking like lasers, yeah, that's right up people's alley, especially the ability to do like twin Gauss fire and some PPCs. But yeah, sadly it never got a look in, and I think a modern redesign of it would have gone down really well as another 100-ton in the Sphere mech. It's not an Omni design either, it's just a standard battle mech, and yeah, it's great. And a lot of people are going to poo-poo it, XL engines, and explode, fuck off, it's great, it's fucking awesome, I love the thing. Plenty of armor to keep it alive, no worry about crits to the side torsos. It'll be fine, as long as you're not stupid with it and expose the back of the mech. Yeah, you should be good, right? You can't go wrong. It's Devastator. It's fucking fantastic name as well for an assault mech. So yeah, it's groovy. And if you've never seen it, then it's well worth looking up. Add it to your force and go kick some ass with it. It's great. The big number 6 on the side, I'm sure, very American football style as well. Oh, there's the door. Anyway, have a good one all. Catch you next time. Bye bye. This might be my tea. My tea may have arrived.